Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the Nate's Stories podcast. How is everybody doing? This podcast is not on a Wednesday. It's actually coinciding with the release of a new animation. It's a short one. It's called Cat. I guess you don't have to watch it to listen to this podcast, but the podcast will make a lot more sense if you watch the video, because I'm going to mostly talk about animation in this one. I'll talk about stuff about the cartoon, and then I'll also talk a little bit about candy corn, the first video on this YouTube channel. So this is just an animation podcast. I'm still working on getting rid of those filler words. So let's get right into this. This animation turned out almost identical to what actually happened. Some of the differences: the cat's bandana and boots or mitten shoes were black, not green. The cat also had a very short tail. And actually, I usually start cartoons with a walk cycle, and I animated the cat's walk cycle first, and I gave him a normal-ish tail, and as I was progressing, I remembered, wait, he has a shorter tail. So you can almost figure out the order that I animated the cartoon based on the length of the cat's tail in the video, because it just gets shorter over time. I was sitting on a couch. The stand-up had a pretty thick beard. The reason why I was in the front right next to the stand-up is because I was a performer that night. I remember a few days later I had actually talked to a few people who were at the show about the moment with the cat, and they just brushed it off, and I was like, this is the moment that I have to make a cartoon about, in my head. My intention with the first draft was that I thought it was going to be a deep metaphor about the arts. No matter what you do, a cute animal will always get more attention. I don't think the original script even really read that way. It was just, in the back of my mind, that's what I wanted to convey. So a little bit of the details about how I started the video. I started it pretty much just after I finished Candy Corn, and I recorded a version of the audio, but then I decided to work on a completely different project, and the video just sat around. But then the project that I was working on, I do want to release it eventually. It just takes a lot of work, and I realized I wasn't going to finish it by the end of June, so I changed gears to something I knew I could finish. So Cat took about 2.5 weeks or so to animate and finish. Some more tidbits. The audience in the video is based on people I know. The most intensive animation in the movie is the part where the cat jumps onto my lap. Otherwise, the video is mostly stills and a bunch of subtle animation. And by subtle animation, I mean I'm just taking a section of a body part and moving it around. So the face was moving, or maybe an arm is moving, but nothing else is. And I'm not redrawing the faces or the arms. I don't like how short the video is. I want to make longer videos with more stuff, but it just takes too long. But I'm still working on stuff like that. It just takes forever. It's animation, man. It just takes too long. Actually, something interesting about making videos in general, usually near the end of production, I tend to hate the video, and I almost question releasing it. And so what I try to do is remember my initial feelings when I started the project, where I'm passionate about the idea, or that emotion that I was feeling is what I want other people to feel when they watch it. So I hope that's what happens. I don't know. Most of the time comments are fairly nice online. Some of the mean ones are fun to read but hurt my soul. I tend to ignore those. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Next. About the video itself, I tried out this filter background thing. I wanted to do it on Candy Corn, but I didn't decide until I was nearly finished with that video. So one of the big reasons that I made Cat is to test out some of these filters and things. I thought it turned out well. I don't like how the gray aesthetic turned out, though. That was me trying to have atmosphere and lighting, but doing it without going into some other program to create lights. It's okay. I think it makes it look a bit too much like an animatic or even unfinished. So I'm going to not do that. Maybe I will. It depends on the situation. It depends on the story. I do like making videos full color, and I have nothing against doing a full color video even on the Nate Stories channel. On my other YouTube stuff, yeah, sure, whatever I feel like I can do. One of the reasons that I decided to do with this channel is this black and white and orange aesthetic is that it saves time. But really, it only saves time if there's no backgrounds, because if there's a background, then I still have to color the characters in white. Racist! So they aren't transparent or see-through. Also, the style was really decided back with the push-up challenge, where it was supposed to look like you're looking at a crumpled piece of paper. So early drafts of Candy Corn, and even the cat video, they still had that doodle aesthetic, but then I cleaned it up so it doesn't quite exist, but it's probably going to be more apparent in later cartoons. So maybe I'll make a color video in the future, or at least other colors. So yeah, you can expect that in the next animation. You kind of hear what I'm planning on doing with future videos in this, so we'll see. All in all, the video turned out how I envisioned it. I wish I had a better vision. It is a bit of a project that I just made to put something out there. I was testing some techniques. The story is a little joke. It's okay. I mean, when I recorded it, I just had one of those, heh. Or when I first listened to it, I was just like, heh. And so I'm hoping that's what reaction most people have. It's not like a, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Kind of like a real lol video. It's more like a you breathe out your nose kind of hard video. Cool. I'm aiming for the next animation to not be a narrated story, and probably not even a true story. I have a few scripts, so I'm just picking one, and I'll run with it, and aiming for that 1 to 2 month thing. Still have a couple minutes on this podcast to reach my 10-minute minimum. I'm trying to make these between 10 and 30 minutes, unless people want more. So I'll talk a little bit about Candy Corn, because I didn't make one of these podcasts about that cartoon. The actual story happened in 2010. Oh yeah, you should watch Candy Corn now, or I guess you don't have to. You're just going to hear me talking about a video that's going to make no sense. I ate too much candy corn one time and then made a cartoon about it. That's pretty much it. I did it in 2010, maybe 2009, I don't remember. And I haven't eaten candy corn since. I might have had one bite and been like, it still tastes terrible a few years ago, but I don't know. Something interesting about the video is that I recorded the story in 2014, so that's a few years ago. And then I just forgot about it or dropped it. I just didn't make it. And I do that with some projects where it's just you put the initial idea out and then you work on other things. But when I picked it up again this year, I rewrote some sections of it and had to re-record it. So you have my 2014 voice next to my 2017 voice. Can you notice the difference? Can you? Because I don't know if you can. The video took about 2 months to make. I was pretty sporadic with it, though. The first month I wasn't working on it as much. It wasn't really until I reached the courtroom scene that I was spending more time on it. Sporadically means I would work on it every few days or something. Or like an hour here, an hour there. It's not consistent. About the actual story, I don't remember the dream that I had that night, so I made up the whole courtroom thing because I thought it would be funny. My favorite moment is when the candy corn walks straight up. When I was animating it, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that happened? It's a dream. Anything can happen. There are no limits. The candy corn voices were recorded by an improv sketch group that I'm a part of called Best Hair. The entire candy corn courtroom thing was improvised in front of a microphone. So those lines were not planned out, that stuff the candy corn says. I just basically was like, let's do a courtroom scene. You're a bunch of angry candy corn. And guided it along. Guided it. I was going to edit that out, but now I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it in there because it guided it. Yeah. So then, because Candy Corn is the first episode on the Nate Stories, the new YouTube channel. It's not new anymore. The Nate Stories YouTube channel. I didn't start the video with the intention of doing that, though there was an intent to make a series based on candy corn. If you listen to the first line, it's about, I say this is a story about gluttony because I wanted to make a series of 7 videos all about the 7 sins, and I wrote out a bunch of stories, some about me and some where I'm talking about stuff I saw other people do. I don't know if I'm actually going to make that. I mean, maybe it'd be interesting. Now you know in the future, if you got this far in this podcast, you know, oh, he might be doing a 7 sins series. So the cat video is not related to the 7 sins. Maybe the cat video is about pride. Yeah, anyways, I think that covers it. This is, oh man. I hope you enjoyed this little dive into random facts about animation and the 2 cartoons. All right, see you next time.